All right, welcome back, guys. Today we're going to look at the 5 stars from a RTA perspective. Do we think they're useful? Are they broken? Are they underpowered? What's the deal? First thing I notice is that they are wide. Look how wide these models are. He almost does not fit. He is a wide model. There's a lot going on here art-wise. Pretty cool. I like the fingers remind me of those things you make out of origami and you put on your finger and they turn into like little spikes and people make them all. That's what they remind me of, those little fingers. See, can we zoom in? No, apparently not. He's got lots of weapons. He is definitely a weapon master. I wonder which one's his favorite. I feel like he should maybe just pick one or two. Because could you imagine this guy running? he would struggle to run, I think. But one of the great things about these is they all have universal leader skills. Crit rate, not ideal, but not bad. We've got the attack power, the HP, which that's pretty relevant in today's meta. The accuracy, always good. And then here's the cream of the crop, the attack speed universal lead. So if you ever get Maximilian, you're going to be maxa happy because that attack speed lead is always welcome on any unit. Except for the fire on Miyoji. I think that's what it is. That one's still not great. But if it gets even a little bit useful, it will be great. All right, so let's take a look at these units. So this is a attack type. Pretty good HP, good attack. I would say base speed, not too bad. Let's look at the base speed on everybody. Yeah, it's all the same. This guy's a little low on the HP, but way more attack. I mean, he's massive attack, 922. So let's see, what's Carlos do here? So Glaive Slash attacks enemy 2 times to disturb. HP recovery for 2 turns with a 30% chance each. Goes up to 50% chance each, 2 turn, 50%. So in general, you're going to get the HP disturb. So let's look and see if that matches everybody. Glaive Smash, Glaive Smash, Glaive Smash, Glaive Smash. So nothing, Glaive Slash, Glaive Slash. So there's nothing fishy going on with those first skills. Pretty standard stuff. HP Disturb. Double hit. Not too bad. Pretty good application rate. We'll take it. All right, his second skill, Weakness Shot. Attacks the enemy to leave a branding effect for 2 turns and attacks 3 more times. So 4 attacks. 2 attacks, 4 attacks. Already, this is screaming additional damage, right? Anything that attacks 4 and 2 is really good. I think Diana's second skill is a 4, right? The damage increases as the HP condition is bad. That's great. It comes with that artifact built in. Additional damage artifact plus the kind of execute mechanic is really good. Reusable in 3 turns. Okay, cool. Collect weapons, passive. Your attack power increases by 75% when an enemy dies, and your attack power increases by up to 300% equal to the dead target's base attack power. Okay, so it's not quite an additional turn when it kills something like a Rauk, but it's 3/4 as good, so that's something. Kind of odd. I guess it's the reason why it's a little bit nerfed is he doesn't have to be the reason it dies, which Rauk does, so it's a little more impactful. But it is sort of an overkill mechanic in RTA. If you've killed a unit, you're probably doing pretty well. This just, I guess, lets you get around to kill another unit quicker, which is not bad, but super aggressive, right? Super aggressive. All right, so let's take a look. What does this mean? Increases your attack power up to 300% equal to the dead target's base attack power. All right, so if you killed another Carlos, your attack power, you would just get the base target's attack power. So instead of 823 attack, my base attack would now be 646 because that's 100%. And then if something else died, it would go up again based on its attack power. So that's kind of interesting. That's a pretty quick ramp up compared to a lot of the wind monsters we've seen, like Christina and all her like similar clones that are all sad. This is a little quicker ramp up. You get a kill and suddenly he's way more of a problem. Interesting. I like that he's got a little bit of HP. I feel like because of the execute here and because of the attack power buff, you can build him a little tankier and get away with it. That's kind of what I think. He seems okay. Not any sort of utility, right? I would not call that utility. Branding's not bad. That might be okay, but not any sort of control. He is full on nuke or be nuked, which is kind of interesting and not super relevant in the meta right now. Everything kind of needs a job, right? Interesting. So like, I don't mean to compare him to Han, but Han is better, right? Of course, because Han attacks a bunch of times. Han definitely gets 100% bar. Han defense breaks. Han stuns. So yeah. Other fire slots. I mean, Daphnis is a 1-turn kill. A little squishier. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I mean, I think the Bison still better because it has better utility. But maybe this guy will see some love. I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's check on Liam. Attack power lead. Okay, we got the Disturb. Storm Scythe. Attacks all enemies 2 times to block them from receiving beneficial effects and increase the chance of landing glancing hits for 2 turns with a 70% chance each. The damage increases according to the enemy's max HP. All right, so 70% goes up to 90%, which is always annoying. I like that it's only in 1 Devilmon. That's kind of nice, but why not 100? Why 90? That's so sad. That makes me sad. But anyway, 2 shots at 90%. So, you're probably going to land it. I would say it's pretty likely. The block beneficial is kind of cool. An AoE block beneficial and an AoE glance. I could see some uses, I mean, there's going to be some spots where if you can get in before they start trying to buff with Liam, you could really put him in a bind, especially with glance. Don't bring him into cleanse. Do not bring him into cleanse. This kind of screams despair. We've got a 2 and a 2, so maybe additional damage. Not great, but 2 is pretty good. All right, attacks all enemies if there are 3 or more enemies. Okay, so RTA, you will start attacking all enemies, and attacks the selected target 6 times if there are less than 3 enemies. So 3 or more enemies, AoE, 2 or 1 enemy, 6 times. Kind of cool. I like that quite a bit. It gives you some interesting focus potential as the match extends. It doesn't just make an AoE kind of useless. But this is AoE, this is AoE, so to me, Despair might be the way to go here. Possibility. With the 6, possibility of a 6 screams additional damage, right? But, is Liam going to be one of the monsters left standing in, say, like a 2v2? I don't know. That's kind of the spot where he would be useful, right? Damage increases according to the enemy's max HP, and this attack decreases the enemy's attack speed for 2 turns. Okay, so max HP, not super great in RTA. There is a little bit more of max HP type stuff going on, but that's more of a PvE thing because the max HP slowly decreases as the match extends. So, I don't know. The glancing is great. The attack, or the beneficial block is pretty good. It just depends, right? Like, do you have to strip first? Probably. And then how much damage does this guy really do? I don't know. That's the main thing. There's a ton of debuffs on this guy, right? We slow, we block beneficial effects, we glance, and we disturb HP recovery. So tons of debuffs. So if you can capitalize on something like that, that might be worth doing. I kind of like him. I like the utility. I don't know. We'd have to see. He's an interesting one for sure. All right, Dominic, we got the HP lead, which I think is solid. We've got the HP disturb. Here's the branding and the attack 3 more times. So it's the 4-time attack, the 2-time attack. So again, additional damage, very nice. It's got the execute mechanic in that the HP condition is low, so that's good. Improvisation, your attack power increases as your HP decreases. So like Trevor, right? Except it's attack power, not just the damage you deal. And attacks additionally when attacking an enemy on your turn. Okay, so you attack again when attacking on your turn. So this is now a 4, and this is now a 6. That's really, really good. That is really, really good. I like that a lot. The attack's damage proportional to your max HP if your HP exceeds 50%, and recovers HP equal to the damage dealt if it's 50% or below. Okay, I kind of like that a lot. Am I crazy? That seems really good. Your attack power increases, your HP decreases. It'll deal damage to your max HP, so you can build this guy nice and tanky, and then if you go under 50, you heal. Interesting. So it's sort of like a soloing kind of a thing. This thing's on a 3-turn cooldown. This thing disturbs HP recovery. I don't know. Maybe this seems really good to me. Seems really good. Let's go look at the... I just want to watch it just to make sure I know what I'm talking about. I think I know what I'm talking about, but let's make sure he attacks a bajillion times. Does it attack 1 additional time, or does it do a skill 1? All right, let's see. So here's skill 1. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's 1 additional. So let's see here. This should be a 5 then. 1, 2, 3. Why was that only 3? Attacks the enemy and attacks 3 more times. All right, let's see it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay. It's super fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a 5. This is a 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So what this means is 1 additional attack, not an additional skill 1. Okay, so I think it still stands. This is a 3. This is a 5. And that's all he does. And he just does this. Okay, pretty cool. Pretty cool. I could see that being nice. I mean, wind is a pretty heavily used slot in RTA, but I don't know. I kind of like that. I kind of like the way it interacts. I may be crazy, but I kind of like it. All right. So we've got the branding, the massive amount of attacks. So this is a 4. This is a 2. What do we got here? Final strike. Attacks additionally when you attack an enemy on your turn. All right. We've already seen how that works. That's 1 additional attack. This attack absorbs 30% of the attack bar if the enemy's HP exceeds 30% and deals damage that ignores defense if it's 30% or below. Interesting. Interesting. So it's a execute if it's under 30. We like that. If it's not under 30, we steal turns. So we gain, if it lands, we gain 60%. No, we net 60%. We take 30% from them. We give 30% to us. So it'll let him cycle like a Sierra if the thing doesn't have will, right? Because not quite a Sierra. Sierra's 45, but 30%, and it brings him down 30%. So kind of a Lauren sort of a thing with accuracy, which is really nice because you'll need accuracy for this. Yeah, I like it. I like the additional attack. That makes this a 3. This makes us a, 5, did we say? And then that seems pretty good. It seems like a better version of the wind one, probably. A little more control, which is, one of the issues some of the monsters have. They don't have enough control. All right, here is the gem. That is excellent. We love that. All right, we got this. This is the same thing. This is the block beneficial. And give them glancing, 95%. Does it twice. What do we got here? Attacks all enemy 4 times. Love it. We already love that. That's a lot of attacks. Each attack will decrease the defense for 2 turns, decrease attack power for 2 turns, grant continuous damage for 2 turns, and absorb 25%. So that, if there's 4 enemies, dear Lord, you're doing everything you could want to them, and you're stealing an extra turn. So despair for sure, because this is attack all enemies. This is attack all enemies. Then you could also, stun with despair. So that's kind of nice. And additional damage based on anything, right? Because you're going to do tons and tons of attacks. And it's got a speed lead. This one's really great. You got to have a stripper. You got to. And I think if you're facing him, you want to burn him down if you can. But I think this one is excellent. Just an AoE, kind of a threat level of a SEMA in a way. And it just does a ton of stuff to you, and it cycles, and you're sad, right? Because you're glanced, your block beneficial effects, your defense broken, your attack broken, your continuous damage, and you're losing your attack bar. Like, that's all the goodness, right? Just a nice kind of AoE, cleavy type unit. Certain situations, you can't do anything about it. So, all right, so I'd say LDs are the winners, which is kind of what you would hope, because that's how things should go. I like this one. I don't know if it's super relevant, but I kind of like it. And then Liam is interesting just because he's so different. Overall, pretty nice little family. I don't know that they'll see a ton of play, because in my mind, the current meta, because the current meta is you are rushing turn 1 to control with Chung Pung and stuff like that, or you're tanking through turn 2 with cleanses and Wusa immunity and stuff like that. So I don't know that these guys fit into either one of those things. They feel more like cleavy type stuff, which is not super on meta right now. But that being said, if you pull an LD, probably try to fit it in because they're just cool. All right, hope that was helpful. Gave it my take. If anybody thinks I'm crazy or wrong, please let me know in the comments. If you pull one of these and you see something that drastically differs from what I'm talking about, please let me know, because I don't want to give false information. I'd like to give relevant information. Anyway, hope everybody has good summons, and good luck if you are getting the Ancient Transcendence. I'll probably open it sometime later once I've got a few more scrolls saved up. We'll do TOA and stuff like that, and we'll do a summoning session around Christmas. So that's the plan for me. All right, guys, catch you all in the next video, and take care, everybody.